Okay, so last night I watched the next two episodes of Lycoris. That was episode 4 and that was episode 5. And as you can possibly guess by my tone, I'm not sure how much I liked them. Episode 4 in particular. On the one hand, a good chunk of the episode is just Chisato and Takina essentially going on like on a date. Not necessarily a romantic way, like we're gonna hang out, just the two of us, have a good time. I go to like a nice cafe and just get like a fuck ton of dessert, which I'm always down for. Like they went, like they went clothes shopping. He's like trying on a few different outfits. It's not like a super like real 90s 2000 style mall montage that I fucking adore, but like we get a little bit of that. There's a part where they go to an aquarium and hang out, which I can't see a scene of two people going to an aquarium, especially with one being like, okay, I want to learn about this one, and like being like really like way too serious about it without thinking of Chainsaw Man, because that chapter of the aquarium date is so fucking funny. And the memes I saw, I think that was actually the first chapter of Chainsaw Man I had to wait for to come out, and it was fucking gold. There's so many good memes. My favorite is of the one page of Asa and Denji, and it's just a long fucking wall of text, which I think in context was like about starfish or jellyfish. In the meme, it's the Vaporeon copy text. So like that 100% sounds like something Asa would say. Like she would do the research, be like, did you actually know the Vaporeon of all Pokemon? And like, oh my god, this actually makes sense. So seeing the two like taking their date to the aquarium, I'm like, I get it. In context, this is like fun. This is kind of sweet. Out of context, this is amazing. There's also a part where like Chisato is like messing around and she's like, look at me, I'm a fish, or look at me, I'm an eel, because it's Chisato, she's having a good time. And after they talk for a bit, Talking is like, okay, let me kind of goof off with her. She's like, I'm a fish, I'm an eel. And my brain immediately just went to Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Specifically, our character from episode 4, Warren the Eagle. Like, I said that out loud when I was watching. Like, I'm a fish, I'm an eel. Eagle! And I had to fucking stop the episode to laugh at my own dumb joke. It made me happy. It really did. And, we also get some like good, like solid Chisato character in this episode, where Takina does ask her like, okay, so like, what is the whole not killing thing? Like, why do you not do it? To which she says, well, hold on, I think I actually wrote it down. It's like, I don't like taking people's time away from them. And I heard that, I was like, okay, it's about time. I don't like people taking people's time away. She's fucking psychic. I still believe in that. I still believe you have clairvoyance. I don't know exactly how it works, but you're talking about time, and, like, I'm pretty sure you can see things before they happen, so you know things about time. I feel like that phrasing might be important. I'm not sure, but that might be a hit. I'm gonna fucking take it, because it's still my theory. And so, but I mean, we at least got a short explanation. And even Talking is like, oh, I thought there's something a little more philanthropic about it. Like, I thought it was more just, I don't know, nice, and like you really don't see the value in killing, or like every life is worth it. Like, no, I just don't like doing it. Oh, okay. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm not disappointed. I don't know what I was expecting, but we got it. We also know why Chisato does not work at DA. It is very specifically, she's like, I have my own personal goal, and she's got this little owl pin, which was mentioned, I believe, at either the very end of episode 1 or the start of episode 2, is the Allen Institute, which is marked by that owl. And essentially, it's like, I guess, they look for very talented people. They've said kids a couple times, but I'm not sure if they only hand these out to, like, very talented kids or not. But essentially, I guess it's like a scouting agency, a talent agency. I guess think of like Hope's Peak Academy from Danganronpa, Where it's like, hey, as long as you have some kind of talent, we can see, like, you're going to be really good in this. They give you the owl thing, and I guess you owe them something, or it's like you're supposed, like, we expect great things from you. I don't know what they do, though. It's like, if they just give, it's like, hey, I'm going to give you this pin because I believe in you. That's it. Or do you actually get, like, some kind of, oh, you nibbling on my hand, bub? You a nibbler? You love nibbling on my hand. Sorry, just playing with my cat off screen. The Dilly boy. He's been peeing on my clothes the last couple days, so I think I need to take him to the vet tomorrow to make sure that everything is okay. Ow! You're nibbling pretty hard. Ow. Don't do that. That fucking hurts, you piece of shit. Anyways, point. Allen Institute. I don't know exactly what they offer, but Chisato's like, hey, I remember a man a long time ago gave me this. I know it's something important. It's because he believed in me, and it kind of gave me something to strive for, so I want to meet him. And that guy, I believe his name is Shinji. He's the guy that sounds like Rufus Albarrea, which is why, in my head, I just refer to the character as Rufus. Because I think this is the first time he's been name-dropped. Maybe he was name-dropped before, I didn't quite catch it. But his name is Shinji. And he has a conversation with Nika, who was, no, I think it's Mika, not Nika, my mistake. But their boss who runs the cafe and is kind of like their handler. And those two know each other. They've kind of been homies for a long time. And they talk about how he's like, yeah, so you're the person that gave that thing to Chisato. And I guess as part of the Allen Institute, like, you're not supposed to be that involved with a kid after you give them a pin. But this guy kind of is. Like, he's doing more than he should, which is maybe taboo. I don't super know. And there's also the fact that, like, Chisato is trying to look for the dude that gave her the thing, but she's already found him because they've interacted a few times, and I don't know how long ago this was exactly. How much has this, like, let me put it like this. If Chisato is as competent and intelligent as the series has made her out to be thus far, how does she not recognize this dude? Now, granted, it could have been I don't know how long ago it was. Like, if she was 3 years old, totally get why you wouldn't remember this random person. But if it's like, man, like, this was one of the most meaningful moments of my life because this person gave me something, I've been trying to find that person ever since. Like, was he, like, did you get a look at his face? I don't even think they mentioned that. I don't even know if she had said, she's like, but it's been so long, like, I don't super remember. It's just, I'm looking for this person. And then later in the episode, you find out exactly who the person is. I'm like, wait, how have you not put 2 and 2 together? Like, literally, what is keeping you from doing so? I'm not sure, which, again, given how intelligent this character is, and she might have psychic powers, I feel like it kind of took me out of it. Also, the catalyst for why the two of them were hanging out in this episode. It was not just, let's go hang out and have a good time. It is very specifically, they're playing a VR game, and Takina subs in for Chisato, and she's like, moving around, ducking, jumping, blah, 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 blah. And there's a point where Chisato sees up her skirt, and it's like, oh my god, you don't wear panties. You wear boxers. But those are men's underwear. Oh my goodness. We have to take you shopping so you can buy actual authentic girl underwear. I'm like, well, why are we doing this? Why is there a significant chunk of the episode just dedicated to their underwear? I don't know. It's like, if it was like a swimsuit and it's like, hey, we're going to go to the beach. Let's go shopping. Let's make sure we have a nice swimsuit. Make sure we have one that's up to date. Make sure we have one that fits or something. Like, that sounds more reasonable to me. This just felt like, here's a weird fan service-y plot line to get the episode started that doesn't really feel like it fits in with the rest of the show, because the rest of the show has not been fan service-y. Like, Mizuki, the other handler, the one that kind of gets, like, a lot of the technical shit done, very attractive character, but there's not a whole lot of, like, fan service with her or anything, so this whole plot line was just, I don't know, kind of weird. And what's Walnut Girl's name? Was it Kurumi? I think that was it, but she's the like little girl hacker. There's also a scene where she's just in the bath for some reason in this episode. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this was just the fan service episode of the show? Huh? Why? The show was perfectly fine without it. The show even... I mean, there was an action scene at the end of the show, because like there was this like asshole terrorist dude who got the guns, and he shoots up a train, but the train is full of Lycoris, who then like fuck up all of his dudes, and he manages to escape. And I was like, cool, I have no context for this person, and I just think his green hair is maybe kind of neat. The government is doing what they can to be like, oh no, there wasn't a shootout that happened down here. It was just a derailment of a train, but it was okay. No one's on it. No one died. Oh, that is the thing I actually find really interesting about the show, is just all the government cover-ups. Kind of like how deep the conspiracy goes. You've got a couple cops who are starting to investigate. Like they investigate the air and they find bullet casings. Like, okay, something happened down here. This was not an accident. This was not like a planned detonation or anything. Some shit went down, and some important people are covering it up. We need to find out why. That shit is really interesting to me. I like that. And the idea of, Chisato and Takina just saying, like, we're going to take some time off, not really do much, hang out, and vibe. I don't mind that either. I do appreciate those moments where a story can just say, let's take a break so our characters can breathe. Maybe get to know each other a little better. I like that. But it was just, why is it a whole plot line about their underwear and looking up each other's skirts and shit? It was just weird, and I didn't find it that funny. It really was just, like, that meme where someone will be like, anime when I'm watching it, and it's like something really cool or really emotional, and then like anime when my mom walks in, and then it's just like boobs on the screen. That's basically what this episode felt like, especially because I was at my mom's yesterday and I was watching the next episode of Lycoris Recoil, which was this, and like like I've had that experience with some shows, but like, man, this just felt like a 180 from what I had been watching. I don't know if I like that. The rest of the episode, like, again, there was good shit in the rest of the episode, just, it didn't feel as consistently good as some of the others. Episode 5. So episode 5, the plot is their mission is they're supposed to escort this man who was like a very high-profile businessman, but he hadn't been in Japan for a long time. The last time he was, someone was trying to kill him. He wants to go sightseeing around his home country about one last time before he kicks the bucket, because he's on his way out. And he's in a wheelchair. It's like text-to-speak, kind of like Stephen Hawking, but like he can't actually see. They're just telling him what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Them escorting him also, and then like there's a hitman that's after him. They call him, what was it? Silent Gene. This like super like competent dude, doesn't say a word, really badass. So the shit with like Gene following them and then trying to outwit him and whatnot, that was really cool. I liked it. Them escorting the old man around the town, or like around the city. Was it just around Tokyo, or were they just actually going around to different parts of Japan? I don't remember how far they got across the country, but just that shit I really liked. You also get a reveal on this episode that Chisato has a fake heart. She has a pacemaker. So they said like it's not a pacemaker, it is just like a full artificial heart. There is no heartbeat. Which, okay, so there is a little bit of a fan servicey moment in this show where Takina is like trying to feel Chisato's chest to literally like touch the heart and be like, yeah, I don't feel a pulse. That was fine. That was something I thought was actually funny and felt like that is something this character in particular would do. Like, you don't have a real heart? Let me figure this out. She's like, dude, what the fuck? We're in public. Don't just like grope my boobs. What's wrong with you? It was like that makes sense in the context of the scene. And that really does sound like something this character would do. And it's funny. That worked. The whole wrong underwear plotline in the last episode for me just didn't. Speaking of things in this episode that didn't work, there's a point. So, like, by the end of the episode, you find out that the dude they were escorting was just a regular dude who had essentially been kidnapped by some people, and that, like, the identity that he had set up was fake and all this kind of shit, which did make me go, so do they not vet their clients? I figured they probably would. At least, like, if someone's gonna give you, like, if you're this big, like, anti-terrorism agency, and granted, you're not working with DA, you're kind of doing your own side shit, but you don't have a hacker in your midst, you have someone who's, like, real, at least the vibe I guess that Mika is someone who's super fucking well connected with, like, spies and assassins and all that. Did you not vet this guy, like, at all? Because even by the end of the episode, they're like, dude, the fake name he gave us, was that even a real person? Like, yeah, how well did you do your homework on that? I just kind of assumed that you guys would, to make sure that shit like this doesn't happen. So I was left wondering, it's like, did they either cover their tracks incredibly well that they got through the vetting process? Or are they so careless that they didn't vet them at all? Speaking of being careless, there's a moment when they're on a ferry, and Chisato, Takina, and wheelchair dude are in there, and the wheelchair dude, like, goes back into the ship, and the two of them are outside. And that's when they specifically talk about the fake heart. And it's like, yeah, I like this conversation. It's interesting and shit. Shouldn't at least one of you have eyes on him at all times? Like, if he goes into, like, the bathroom or something, sure, completely understand that you wouldn't follow him in there. You would think at least one of you would say, hey, because there might be an assassin on the fucking ship. You don't know that, you don't think there is, but what if there is? I don't know if you should be taking that kind of precaution. Like, should you be keeping your eyes on the prize at all times? Then there's a scene where, like, Chisato gets a call from Mika, and she's like, hey, I gotta take this. Turns around, starts talking, and the wheelchair just goes, like, it just leaves, and she doesn't hear it? She doesn't notice? Wait, you mean this person who's really super hyper competent at what she does somehow didn't even notice? Like, she was like, here, let me take, like, if she just, like, stepped to the side a little bit, was like, okay, like, the client's at it, like, the client can't hear me, what do you need to say, blah, 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 but kept her eyes on him, like, that makes sense to me. But just, okay, oh shit, he's gone! And then, again, he wasn't making a sound, and then she's fucking booking it, and she can't catch up to it, like, duh, I don't know where the fuck he went. Like, this is kind of stupid. I feel like the characters who are supposed to feel like very, again, really competent, because that's what they've consistently been. Not perfect, they can make mistakes, but it feels like the mistakes in this episode feel like really basic no-duh shit. Keep your eyes on the guy you're protecting at all times. Again, unless he's, like, in the bathroom or something. That makes sense to me. That didn't. Did you not properly vet your client? That's a problem. That's a pretty fucking big problem. Because what if you were taking a job by a terrorist who, I don't know, set you up and then also set up another assassin to get you to try to kill that guy? Because that guy's potentially a problem, or to make you stain your hands like fucking Legato and Vash the Stampede. I don't know. Just spitballing things here that probably happened at the end of the fucking episode. Like, what the fuck? Like, the first 3 episodes of the show, I genuinely feel are good, not great, but I can see it. It's like, I really liked the first 3 episodes. Like, I'm having a lot of fun watching this. I'm not like, damn, this is amazing. I'm like, damn, this is pretty fun. There's definitely some good, fun shit in here. But watching the last 2, I was like, huh. Well, this episode 4 is just not very good. But then there's these kind of good moments. And then this one was like, this, it's kind of a shit show out of nowhere. Huh. Now, I'm not saying like, oh man, like I didn't care for these 2 episodes. I'm completely dropping it. Excuse me. I'm not at a point where I'm like, the show is on thin ice. If we get a few, I mean, it's like if we get a few more duds in a row, then maybe. But even then, by that point, I won't have a lot of episodes left, so I kind of might as well finish. Unless the show pulls like a Mushko Tensei and I'm like, oh, this is disgustingly bad. I don't want to watch this anymore, which I don't think it's going to. I sincerely don't. Then I'll probably watch it anyways, but it went from okay, I'm in, let's keep going, to like, okay, I'm more lukewarm, but I'm still in. I haven't watched any new episodes today. I've been busy doing a bunch of other kind of shit and also playing Pokemon. I'm definitely going to play more Pokemon later. I'm really going to play a lot of Pokemon tomorrow. But I do want to try and finish Lycoris before the end of the week, if not like super early next week. But do I have anything else to say about these episodes? Yeah, not really. I would say that's about it. So see you in the next one.